and welcome to the next episode of Thru. Thank you everyone for joining us. I am joined today by Louise Volpe, who got up especially early to be with us. She's in Colorado. Louise, welcome. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm doing really well. And yes, it's definitely a different time over here. We're about 9 o'clock in the morning or so, but not a problem. I'm really honored to be on here today. So thank you for asking me.
No worries, and I'm glad you managed to get up and managed to sort the time differences out. Now,
Yeah.
for those of you that don't know, Louise is actually my health and fitness coach. We met via Instagram, and she invited me on a health and wellness journey with her, and she knows that I was very, very stubborn for the first few months, constantly saying no. But then eventually I decided to give it a go, and we both realised the benefits that exercise can have on your mental health, whether that be home workouts or going to a gym. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. Exercise is such a benefit to your mental health, no matter what you do, whether you're going outside and taking a walk, whether you're working out at home, whether you're going to a gym, just taking a few minutes to get away from whatever's going on in your daily life and take a breath. It really helps you to reset. You can just take a step back and get away from those everyday stresses. And it's such a mental health reset when you do that. So I always stress that working out or exercising or just moving your body is not only a physical benefit, it's a huge, huge mental benefit to everybody.
Absolutely. And do you mind sharing a wee bit how you managed to get into this journey, this fitness journey that you've been on now for, is it four or 5 years?
Nearly 5 years. And yes, I had decided about 5 years ago. I have two kids, and my youngest was about 2 or 3. And I decided I couldn't use pregnancy as an excuse anymore to not be healthy, because I wasn't going to have any more kids and he wasn't a baby anymore. So I was just so fed up and feeling blah. I have a great husband, I have two fantastic kids, I had a great job, but there was just something missing, and I honestly didn't know what it was. But I found that there's a community out there that is going to support you and push you forward and challenge you and make you such a strong person internally, and that really grabbed me and pulled me in, and I started doing a very small challenge group, accountability group that we have online, and it was based around exercise and what you're eating, your nutrition. So I started out doing this, and it was purely to help me, because I wanted to drop the weight I hadn't been able to drop, and I also wanted to just move my body more and have some more purpose instead of just going to the gym and not knowing what on earth I was doing. So I didn't like spending all this time there and then seeing no results. So I started this accountability group. And from there, it has just like steamrolled, because the community is so fantastic. The support is there. I've made so many friends. I'm just growing my own team and helping other women help other women. And yes, we have men too. We have men in our group as well. But the friendship and the support and the motivation and the accountability and the encouragement is what's really pushing me, because I want to show other women that if I can do it, then you can do it too. Whether it means losing a few pounds, whether it means you just want to take half an hour every day just for me time, you're not running on the hamster wheel all the time, just being more positive and really finding some joy in your life that is more expansive than what you anticipated or what you expect from just is this it kind of life. So that's why I do what I do. That's why I coach. That's why I reached out to you, because I want to have more friendships in my life with people who are of the like mindset. So we want to help each other. And I love that kind of mentality.
Absolutely. I think it's really important that you said it's about women helping women, especially in an era where women especially, I think, are quite competitive, and we can be quite jealous of other women. And I think it's really refreshing for me to be part of a community where everybody celebrates everybody else's wins. So even if you're not maybe feeling as successful as you should, but you're still able to celebrate somebody else's win, whether that be, oh, I didn't have that donut that I really wanted today, or I've managed to drop a stone, or I'm in the best mindset that I've ever been. There's so much more to this community and exercise than a lot of people actually realize. And it's just really, really nice to see that as well, and to be part of a community that's not as toxic as some can be.
Yes, we over here we call it it's the mean girl. You know, women can be so mean to each other, and it starts out so young, and the fact that it still exists when we're in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s is just unbelievable, and it's not in a good way. It's not a good thing. So the fact that we do have this community that comes in and supports and motivates and encourages, and we celebrate all sorts of wins. We celebrate little wins as well as big wins, because we all know you can have a huge goal, but if you're not seeing little wins along the way, it's less likely that you're going to actually keep pushing and keep striving to get to that big goal. So we celebrate these tiny little wins, whether it is, as you say, you've lost a couple of pounds, or maybe your belt is a little, you can do the next notch, or maybe it is that you had a really horrible weekend and you fell off the wagon, but you're starting again on Monday. You're not giving up. You're pushing forward. And just being able to give and receive these wins makes it a 360. It's a whole circle. It's not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for others too. And we really help each other in the group in that way.
Absolutely. And it is nice to celebrate every win, because what people don't realize, even celebrating those small wins will benefit your mental health as well. And I'm personally somebody who's quite hard on herself. I always have been.
Yeah.
I've got certain goals that I need to reach a certain target by such and such an age, or I need to do this by the end of the year, or I want to have traveled or seen these countries, and I can be really hard on myself if I don't achieve that. And because you're being negative on yourself, that has a negative impact on your mind and your mental health. So being able to celebrate the little things in life, I think, is really important as well, and can help create positivity and a positive mindset as well.
And I think that is such a great thing that we're passing on to our kids as well, is that they can see us going through our lives, and they can see when we're having hard times, they can see when we're having struggles, but they can also see that when we're using these struggles and we are overcoming them, and they're part of our journey, and they're taking us to the next step in our life, and it's all built upon each other, and it's all a learning experience. It's not a failure. Failure is a learning. So I think that's a great thing that we can pass on to our kids too.
Exactly. And that's what I always say to people who say, oh, I made a huge mistake, oh, that was a disaster. But I was like, well, it's your disaster to make, it's your mistake to make, and you need to make these mistakes to realize what you want and what you don't want from life. And if you don't, you don't get, and maybe what you think you wanted from something isn't quite what it turned out to be, but that's okay as well, because you tried it, you realized it's not for you, or it is for you, you know what I mean? It could go either way. But I think it's also about realizing that even if something seems like a failure to you, or a disaster, or not the way that you intended, that's also okay. And it's okay to keep going, or to try again, or to say, no, that's not for me, I want to do something else, or I want to do it this way, or do it differently. Just keep on trying, but not let these things get on top of you. It's easier said than done. I beat myself up about the most silly things, and then I look back and I go, what was I worrying about that for? Like, I couldn't control this outcome. I got to where I wanted to be, or I didn't get to where I wanted to be, but I'm still okay. Like, it's not the end of the world. So it's about celebrating the small wins, and also realizing that even the losses aren't as bad as they might seem as well.
Exactly. And I think that this is such an important part, is that what we're talking about right now, and celebrating the little wins and failures, and you can take that and assign it to exercise and health and movement, but you can take it outside of that small box, and you can assign it to your entire life, to everything that's going on. So you can learn from the exercise portion, and you can take that and you can just put it into your daily life and make movements from that. And I think that's so important, that we can see the bigger picture.
And speaking of exercise, I know you're somebody that likes to get up early and move in the morning. It sets you up nicely for your day. Me, myself, I like to get my day over with, and then I use exercise to de-stress as well. So for example, if I have had a hard day, or been on a busy deadline, or just had targets to meet, and I'll meet them, obviously, because that's my job, but sometimes I find exercise good form of de-stressing, and it's about me time. But I know you're the same, but in the morning it's about preparing you for the day ahead.
Yeah, and kudos to you for doing that in the evening, because I'm a wet paper bag after about 5 o'clock. But it absolutely is. It's such a de-stressor. And so for me, I wake up and this is how I set my days. I get my workout done before the day starts and before the kids start, before my job starts, because otherwise I think about it. I need to do this. I need to work out. I need to work out. And then other priorities come in and creep in, and that gets pushed down the line. Whereas when you do it at the end of the day. And as you said, you're de-stressing from work. And that's the beauty of it all, is that you can choose when you're going to work out. There's no prescribed time that says you have to work out between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning. You can choose to go out on your lunch break for a walk around the office, around the block. You can choose to schedule it in a gym class after work. You can choose to get up early like I do and work out from home in your basement, or in your living room, wherever you have a tiny bit of space. There's no prescribed way that you have to move your body. It's completely up to you what works in your life and what you prefer to do, how you enjoy it. And I think that that's critical, is doing something when you're moving your body, doing something that you enjoy, not something that's a chore or that you hate or you don't want to look forward to. Exercise should be fun. You should be enjoying it when you're doing it. And I think that's so, so important.
There's different forms of exercise as well. It doesn't have to be a weightlifting class or a spin class. There are home workouts you can do. Like we both know, there's loads of programs you can do, cardio workouts, lifting workouts, but there's also dancing and Zumba. There's so many different forms to move your body that will give you those chemical endorphins that make your brain tick more positively.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the important thing to remember. Something that always gets me through is, even when I'm having like a really bad day and I'm thinking to myself, it'd be so easy just to call it a day, go to bed early, just eat a bag of popcorn and watch a movie. I'll feel okay, but then in the back of my mind, I know that exercise makes me feel so much better.
It does.
I'll do it, and about 10 minutes in, I'm into a 20-30 minute routine. I'm thinking, you know what, I could do another 10 minutes after this, and maybe another, and before you know it, you've done a full hour. And it sounds hard, and some people who are in that situation where they feel like they can't work out because their mind and their body's telling them not. I feel like it's important to share the message that even 10 minutes a day, start off small and work your way up. You will find the benefits exceptional. And it's got to the stage that sometimes people say to me, oh, you work out too much, you need to take time for you. I was like, well, that is my time.
Yes, exactly.
It's my time, because I feel like I'm working on myself, not necessarily to lose weight, although I have toned up in the last few months, and that's bonus. But I feel that having that me time just to do something is helping my heart, it's helping my liver, like all my organs in my body. I'm just so much healthier overall, and I'm a lot healthier than I've ever been. And I mentally and physically, and it's all to do with that structure and that 30 minutes a day I take for myself to actually work on my body and myself.
And it's so fantastic, because that 30 minutes a day is 2% of your day. When you think about it like that, just to use you're working out for 2% of the day, it really is not much at all. But you're getting this dual win. You're getting the physical effects on your body, and then you're getting that mental success, that achievement of, I did it. And we all know when we finish working out, no one ever regrets working out. You never have a bad workout when you're done, because you're done, you did it. So I think that's so important, that we're working on our minds, we're working on our bodies, and especially as we're getting older. I mean, I'm 42. My kids are 7 and 9. I need to be able to keep up with my kids. I want to be able to play with them. I want to be able to still lift them up when I need to. My son is 6 pounds over here in America, so he's 65 pounds, and I can still lift him up and carry him up the stairs. And I would not have been able to do that 5 years ago if I hadn't started on this health, fitness, and wellness journey. And I think it's so important that we're able to be there for our kids, and just to be able to enjoy in their and join the activities and be part of their lives. And you can do that just by moving your body for 30 minutes a day.
Absolutely. And I know exercise is really important for you as well, because you want to be that good role model for your kids. You want to show them that the only time that you can be in good shape is when you're in a teenager, 20s, 30s, that you can be in good shape and be healthy your entire life, and you're more likely to be happy
Yes, exactly. And it's for me, it's a big thing for me is that you don't have to be stick thin. There's no right body shape. There's no perfect body shape. We're all different shapes. We're all different sizes. So I'm a big proponent of just showing that we should love our own bodies and who we are and appreciate it, and that we shouldn't be fitting into any prescribed societal beliefs of what we should look like or what we shouldn't look like. And I'm also, as I said, a big fan of showing that we actually enjoy this working out that we do. Like, I don't do things that I don't enjoy. And I want to show my kids that you don't have to spend hours on a treadmill and hate every second of it, or a spin bike, or I mean, oh my gosh, I can't run to save my life. I hate running. And I don't run because I don't like it. You don't have to work out doing something that you hate. You can find something that you love. Maybe you do love to dance. Maybe you do love to dance. Maybe you like to stretch or do yoga or do weights, or you like to swim. There's so many different ways that you can move your body and give yourself the benefits from just that small amount of movement every day.
Absolutely. And I, for one myself, I can't run to save myself, but being able to do
In
this.
the club.
I never have been able to, even as a young kid. Like, I could never do it, but I can do these workouts now, and I just feel so much better for it as well. And I think that's just the most important thing. And also, whether or not you're on a fitness journey to lose weight or to be healthy, it doesn't matter. Like you say, all body shapes are fine. What I say is, let's start promoting healthy living, not weight loss or not obesity. Like, let's promote healthy living. And there are a lot of people out there who say, oh, it doesn't matter what body shape you are, and I completely agree, it doesn't matter. But what I do say is, it matters about your heart.
Yes.
It's about healthy living. And yeah, you don't have to look a certain way. You shouldn't have to look like a stick insect. You shouldn't have to feel like you have to put on weight to fit in. You should be happy with the body that you're in. And if you are, that is great. But it's about being healthy, and it's about having a healthy heart and being, because if you don't, ultimately you're not going to live a long, happy life. I think that's what most of us want, is to be happy and healthy, and to live long.
And I think for me,
anyway, and that's another.
yes, I know, I agree too. And I think for me, there's one time that sticks out for me is we live across the street from a school, and my daughter was at preschool, and I had to run across the street to go get her. I think I was a bit late, and I ran literally across the road to the school, and I was so out of breath that I had to stop. And that to me was one of those pivotal moments where I said, what if I had to run? What if I had to run to save her, or to do something? Or like, what if I had to run? I literally cannot run across the street without getting out of breath. And that was a pivotal moment for me too, saying, Louise, this is enough. You have to start now and start getting healthy, because you're getting older. It's not going to get easier. So let's start now.
And I think that's a really important point for other people out there in your situation as well, who might be thinking, oh, I need to do something. I need to be able to keep up with my kids. I don't have kids, but I know it can be quite tough. And I know that they require a lot of attention and a lot of energy. And I think, again, you need that energy to keep up, but you also want to be a positive role model for them as well.
Yes, exactly. And I think that it can be so difficult when you're sat there saying, I need to start, but I don't know how to start. But just acknowledging that you need to start is a great way forward. You can sit on that point, and that first step of making a decision that I am going to do something about it, and I'm going to take action on that decision, is the hardest part. And then you have someone like me who's your coach, as I am with you, is you have a coach there who's going to hold you accountable. You have a coach there who's going to motivate you and support you and check in with you and see how you're doing. And that really helps people get moving and gather momentum on their journey, because it's not just them in a silo. They have team, they have community, they have everything pushing them on, instead of them just being alone trying to get through this journey themselves.
And you're definitely right when it comes to starting or finding that starting point is the hardest point. It was the hardest point for me.
Yeah.
Like, how am I going to start? I want to be healthy. I want to feel better. I want to feel more energized and more active. But how do I start?
Wow.
And once you do start, you're like, okay, this is good. I can keep going now. But it is finding that starting point and finding that right starting point for you. So for home workouts work perfectly for us, but other people might prefer going for a run or to go back to the gym. But I personally find gyms terrifying. Stress and anxiety.
Yes.
You're surrounded by people that you don't know, and I don't feel like I'm the fittest person, and you feel like you're surrounded by people who know what they're doing and that have been into sports their entire life, that were probably on the football team at school or played volleyball or something. And don't get me wrong, I tried to do this stuff, but I was never it was never really important to me. But being fit is, but you feel like you're surrounded by these people who know so much more about it, and then you kind of feel judged. If am I doing it wrong? Are they watching me? Or am I not running in the treadmill right? Am I not doing the cross trainer properly? How am I supposed to work the rowing machine? That's the way they're doing it. Why are they looking at me funny?
And that's not fun. Nobody wants to be in that situation.
Exactly. I mean, I've got friends that are like, oh, you need to come to the gym with me, and I feel like saying, well, I've got something that I can do and that I'm proud of and that works for me, and that's the most important thing.
Exactly. It's what works for you. I think that's the biggest point, is that just look around to find something that works for you until you find what you love. And then you find it easier to just keep going on that journey.
Exactly. And for me, I've been on this particular fitness journey now since the start of lockdown coronavirus March. And it's crazy to say that this is the healthiest I've felt in a long time. Before Christmas, I was severely unwell. I could barely move. I was struggling to go into, I did go into work, but I was struggling. I was in a lot of stomach pain. I was in a lot of pain in general. And I was just thinking, how am I going to keep going? And then I realized that actually, okay, you need to be healthier as well. If you're a bit healthier, that might actually help your condition. And it has. I mean, that's not the cure for everybody. Obviously, that's not what I'm trying to say, but it's helped me. And because my body's now ultimately healthier, my condition is now under control. And I just find that incredible.
That makes me smile, because that's why I do what I do. That's why I coach people. That's why I reach out and see if I can help, because hearing stories like yours makes me happy. It's helping others help others. And I love that part of what I do.
And again, like when I was last year, just before Christmas, when I was really unwell, of course that affected my mental health. I was feeling down. I was not able to go on, but now my mental health's in a really good space. My physical health's in a really good space, and it's the best that it's been in a long time.
And that's why I call it a health, fitness, and wellness journey. It's not just health and fitness, it's health, fitness, and wellness, because it all interacts with each other and links in. And when your mental health is stronger, then you're able to work on your physical self more. And then when your physical self is stronger, it helps you with your mental health. And they just all work together in tandem. And I think that's so important.
Absolutely. And I think it's really important to highlight that having a good physical health, physical relationship with health is important. It benefits your mental health as well. And you do benefit from the endorphins that are released by exercising, and you feel so much better for it, and you feel like you're able to face the day and ready before that you might not have.
And that's why I work out in the morning. So that I'm much nicer to everybody else that I interact with during the day.
Yeah, I should really start working out more in the morning. Maybe I'll be nicer to focus with.
Hey, you do what works for you. If you need to work out at midnight, you work out at midnight. It's not one size fits all.
Midnight and up all night. But no, I like working out maybe about 3-4 in the afternoon, because I find it's a de-stressor. So yeah.
No, well, it's been a pleasure being on here. Thank you so much for inviting me. I really do appreciate it. I love sharing with you and how exercise has helped me physically and mentally. So I do appreciate you asking me on.
No, absolutely. And you've helped me in my fitness journey and wellness journey. So it was only right that you were on.
You're welcome. Anytime.